It was one of the biggest days of Governor Chris Christie's life, the last 24 hours, and he has not stopped for a second, campaigning all the way down to the wire in his quest to be the Republican Party's nominee for president. I've been here since Sunday night. I wanted to follow what could be the governor's last 24 hours as a national figure. And you know what? He knew it. At a town hall event outside Manchester at the Greek Orthodox Church, the governor told a familiar story about his mother, telling people how much she influenced him.
People want to know, why do you say get the hell off the beach? People want to know, why did you say sit down and shut up? It's her fault. Because she did not want to ever suffer in silence. If she had something she wanted to say it, and she wanted to say it right then, and she wanted to say it right to you.
Afterwards, I asked him real quick how he felt about the next day.
Feeling good.
Have you had a chance to use your mug yet?
No, it's in the car still. Haven't been out of the car yet.
But you could tell during the town hall that the governor was drinking it all in, because he knows if he does not meet expectations, all this goes away. The next morning, the governor had a hefty schedule of events, going from polling places to volunteer centers to right here, T-Bone's Great American Eatery. Everyone was pressing against each other, trying to get Christie to talk, trying to get Christie to say something, especially if it was about Donald Trump. Christie, again, right here at this restaurant, said that he was going to take on Trump at a time of his choosing. And the phrase becomes more and more ominous every time Christie utters it.
But you and I talked a little bit about the theory of why he's not going after Trump.
I really feel that the governor is blowing up Trump like a balloon and is going to pop him.
He also said that it comes down to him and Rubio, and everybody knows that. Are you getting that feeling there today?
No, not at all. Afterwards, Christie went to his campaign headquarters in Salem, talked with volunteers, but we're finally heading to the ballroom to find out his fate. What would New Hampshire decide? Would Chris Christie's months and months of on-the-ground campaigning work?
How do people respond to him? Do they treat him as if he could come in second, or are they treating him as if this is it?
It depends on who you ask, you know? I mean, there was a lot of New Jersey people here, including State Senator Tom Kean Jr. But then there was a lady who I was talking to who hadn't voted yet who said she's going Rubio.
When we've talked to Republicans in South Carolina, there was a negativity based on the famous sort of hug that wasn't really a hug that happened with the governor and President Obama right after Sandy. Do you get that feeling in New Hampshire?
I haven't heard anything about the alleged Obama bromance while I've been up here. It's really been about the number one thing people tell me that they like about Governor Christie is his authenticity. A guy that I talked to right in this restaurant said for him, the Paris terror attack sealed the deal for his vote for Chris Christie.
Christie may have respect in New Hampshire, but I think he's losing respect in New Jersey, because we're not used to a governor who's on bended knees, begging, pleading for votes.
I don't know. I take a little pride in the fact that the governor of the state of New Jersey was as credible a candidate as he was for a certain amount of time.
Politics is often compared to a blood sport, and the people who engage in it more like combatants in a war than family members. But here, in the Chris Christie camp, of all places, there is love. At the back of a strip mall in Salem, New Hampshire, where Cynthia Hill would drive all the way from Boston daily to help the governor put together his campaign. So maybe it's fitting that on his very last stop of his New Hampshire primary campaign, Christie visited Cynthia and the volunteers at that office and greeted her as family. What do you like most about him?
He's honest.
Honest?
He has a heart bigger than anybody I know.
When I talked to Cynthia, she actually became emotional talking about her fears for the future of the country and her feeling that Governor Christie is the only person who can solve those problems. Cynthia has worked a lot of primary campaigns here and in Massachusetts. She worked for both Bushes, she worked for Mitt Romney, and now she's on Team Christie because she says she thinks he's authentic. And maybe it's worth noting that in a campaign that on both sides of the aisle has been dominated by anger, the people who are closest to Chris Christie, who want him most to be president, do it because of their trust in him and their love for him.